Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is Whatever You Say Man, and this will be my first in a series of videos on trading primarily Burst and a bit of Bitcoin too. So we'll jump right into things. First off, if you don't know anything about Burst, I strongly suggest you head over to burstnation.com. You're going to find everything you need to know about Burst Coin on that site, and a whole lot more. As you can see, they've got their own 24/7 radio station going on, started today, and just a great place all around. All kinds of great activities, promotions, and what have you going on all the time. So, first thing, this video will be the first in a 2 or 3 part video. We're going to look at, start off with the tools that we're going to be using. We're not going to jump into what to do with our coins right away. We're going to look at the tools that we're going to use to make money with these coins. So first off, since we're dealing with Burst, we're dealing with Poloniex. Burst is traded on a few other exchanges. I don't use them. I use Poloniex. Plain and simple. Poloniex has a lot more volume. There are a couple other exchanges that are reliable. Bittrex, CCEX. I'm not a big fan of CCEX just because it's got very low volume. Bittrex I've used quite a bit, but their volume on Burst just isn't what it is on Poloniex. And in order to trade any coin efficiently, you need volume. Every trade that you make has someone on the other side of it. So if you're on an exchange where nobody is buying your coin and nobody is selling your coin, you're not going to get very far with it. Poloniex doesn't have that problem. Got 58 Bitcoins worth of volume in the last 24 hours, and it's been well over 100 in the past few weeks. So if you don't know Poloniex, poloniex.com. Make sure you are on poloniex.com and not some fake Poloniex site. This is cryptocurrency. We're dealing with money. Anytime you're dealing with money, someone will try to steal it from you, whether it be cryptocurrency or cash from your pocket. So poloniex.com. Set yourself up with an account. It's fairly simple. In order to make your first deposit, you're going to go to balances, deposits, and withdrawals. This will bring up your deposit and withdrawal page. I've got it filtered to hide 0 balances. If you don't do that, you end up with this, which isn't all that useful to us today. So if we're going to be depositing some Burst, we're going to click on this deposit button here, copy the Burst address. Simple as that. I've already got my Burst wallet open, so we'll go to the dashboard, send Burst. You can just paste that address right in there. Type in your amount here. I tend to put a larger fee just because things tend to go a bit faster when you grease the wheels with money, right? And then you click on send Burst. I'm not going to be doing that right now. I'm using this Burst to buy and sell assets right now on the Burst Asset Exchange, which we will be getting into in another video. Once your Burst shows up, you'll be able to sell it at will. And as you can see, I've got a bit here waiting to sell. I bought this a bit lower here. See how much? That's right, 129. Right now it's at 139. The method that I wanted to go into first would have me probably sell this fairly quickly, just so I could buy more at a slightly lower price, sell it slightly higher. We'll get into all that later. Right now I just want to get into the mechanics of actually getting to where we can start trading. So back on our deposits page, same thing for Bitcoin. Click on here, copy your deposit address, and wherever you're sending from, whether it be a wallet on your phone, another exchange, or is that you have your Bitcoins, you can send it from there. Now, looking at Poloniex, they do have a fairly decent charting system. You can get pretty creative with the time frames you're looking at, the size of the candles, what have you. For example, right now we're looking at 30-minute candles over, I guess that was probably about a 6-month time frame. This is the entire history of it being on Poloniex. This chart isn't all that useful to us right now. But look at a smaller time frame, say 1 or 2 weeks. You know, we can get a good idea of where it's going, but we can't really do any decent analysis of the coins prices with these charts. There's no drawing tools, anything like that. Just makes it harder to keep track of what you're doing. To take care of that problem, I use tradingview.com. They do have a paid service, but you can use their charts for free, and they do have a fairly robust platform as far as trading goes. You can get into all kinds of discussion if you go to their public chats on cryptocurrencies, forex, stocks and indexes, blah blah blah. We're not going to look at that right now. What we are going to look at is burst. So we pull up the burst coin charts here on TradingView. We'll go ahead and use the time frame just to look at what burst is doing right now and where we think it's going to go. Just want to give you an example of the drawing tools that we can use here. We're going to expand this a little bit. So, one of the main principles that we're going to be relying on during most of our trades will be the idea of support and resistance at different price levels. As you can see down here, I have some old levels drawn in that I was using on the previous time frame, basically the beginning of the month. As you can see, the price tends to follow historical support and resistance lines. Use these to your advantage. We'll get into all of this later on. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So far we've looked at Poloniex, looked at TradingView, and since we'll be dealing with Bitcoin quite a bit as well, we're going to look at the site that I use the most to trade Bitcoin, bitmex.com. Bitmex.com is not it's not the kind of trading that we're doing here with Burst. It's margin trading. Margin trading is offered on Poloniex, not with Burst, but they do offer it with a number of the higher priced coins. Well, not necessarily higher price, but the higher market cap coins. I don't really use it all that much, simply for the fact that they don't offer a lot of leverage, and if I'm going to be margin trading, I prefer to do it with a slightly higher leverage. Bitmex.com, for the inexperienced trader, is a great place to lose your Bitcoins. Be careful here, alright? Don't just jump in head first without reading any of the guides that are offered on the site. There's different kinds of orders here that we're going to be looking at later on in the series, and all of these different kinds of orders here, the stop market, trailing stop, take profit orders, market orders, limit orders, they're all important. They're all going to be used, and they're hopefully all going to be used efficiently enough that by the time we're done with the video series, all of you will be able to jump into a trade with 50 or 100 times leverage and be confident that your money is safe, even if the price takes a dive or a jump, depending on whether you're buying or selling. So bitmex.com is a great place to go if you want to trade your Bitcoin directly against either US dollar, the Japanese yen, or Chinese yuan. They do offer margin trading on a number of other altcoins. We're not going to get into any of that right now, just because I want to focus on Burst for the early part of the series. So that's pretty much going to sum it up right now. Before I move forward, I just want to make it clear that the rest of my series will be dealing with primarily the three tools that, well, four tools, sorry, I'm not going to neglect the Burst wallet, but four tools that we're going to be using the most in this video series. So Poloniex, definitely create yourself an account there if you do not have one already. TradingView.com, create yourself an account there if you do not have one already. It's going to come in very handy throughout your trading career. That I can almost promise you. There are other sites that offer similar services, but in my experience, TradingView really just gives me what I want all the time and doesn't even ask me for money for it. So if there's a free service giving you everything that a paid service gives you, why not use the free one? And bitmex.com, because we will be doing some margin trading with Bitcoin, and not all exchanges are using the same sources for their pricing. So if you want to be able to follow along with what I'm doing in the video accurately, it's going to be best to be using the same exchanges. And of course, the final tool that I'll be mentioning, but not the least important, the Burstcoin wallet. We're going to be looking mostly at the asset exchange, which is another great place to make some money if you don't have a lot of money to throw around. As you can see, I've got just under 9,000 Burst coins here, and not all that much in assets in this wallet. I do have a fair amount, but all in all about maybe 25 bucks total. So the balances that you're seeing are the balances that, sorry, that's the margin trading balances. The balances that you're seeing here are the balances that I'm going to be using throughout the series. I will not be making any deposits anywhere. We're going to see how big we can get this before my little intro to trading when you're flat broke is done. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you'll be there for the next one, which will be coming fairly shortly, since, as I said, this will be part one of a 2 or 3 part mini series to kick off my my channel. Thank you very much.